Hi everyone, Sierra Thompson, independent scentsy consultant here. So I wanted to do a quick video talking about the reasons why I switched from candles to scentsy wax. Now, I will say that I've tried other wax, but I generally melt scentsy the most. So before we get into this, please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the type of candles that I used to warm. I was a big candle warmer, and I warmed Yankee candles, Bath and Body Works. There was a store called Kirkland's. I used to buy candles from them, and I love their candles. Like, they were probably the ones that I warmed through the most. That along with Bath and Body, but really love those candles. I started having problems though in a particular house that we were living in. Sorry. My cat's joining. Nova. She's so funny. Okay. Nova, stop. She's trying to drink the water on the table. She's so funny. Okay. So, I used to warm a lot of candles. Now I would say a lot by 2 or 3 candles in my house at a time, that kind of thing. Just because in the area of the house, I needed to have more than one candle to really get the good throw that I wanted, the good scent throw. So 2, maybe 3 candles in the house. And I realized that even when I would burn those for a limited time. I wouldn't burn them all day, but I would burn them for, like they would say, no more than 3 or 4 hours or something, I think, with the candles. So I would burn them for that amount of time. And I realized that we started having problems with marks on my walls, like black marks. If I had a candle in a specific spot, there would be black, almost like the soot marks from the candle on the wall up high above where the actual candle was. Like, it wasn't directly above it, like higher up. Like, it was almost like maybe the air conditioning system in the house, when it sucked or something, the air would pull the smoke up because it would be higher than where the candle actually was. So it didn't make sense to me. That would happen. And then we would have black dust on the fans. Whereas, when the fans build up a little bit, it gets a little bit dusty, but it's like a white gray dust. That's it was black dust. And I don't know if it was that house specifically, but that's when I started having the problems with the candles. And so I recognized that it was not worth burning the candles if I had another way to still provide fragrance in my house. So that is when I switched to scentsy. I met a scentsy consultant when we lived in California, and she was actually the babysitter for my children when I started going to student teaching, because I am a teacher. And when I started doing that, she introduced me to scentsy and, gave me samples and things like that. And I realized that I love the concept of scentsy. So I had used scentsy prior to that, but kind of I feel like maybe I just kind of forgot about it. Some of the warmers got misplaced, and it also was before scentsy had these fantastic designs that they have now. They were more basic warmers back then. So I had kind of taken a break from it and then picked it back up around 2018. So a few years before that, I was just warming and buying from her, and then I joined in 2018. So I love scentsy, and that's the reason why I joined. My husband encouraged me to join because I was buying enough products that he just felt like it was worth it for me to join. And it is just a hobby. Like, I teach online for my daytime job, and so this is just, I love fragrance. So that's the reason I love scentsy warmers, and their wax bars are the strongest that I've tried. And I just love that their warmers are beautiful. They're really like statement pieces when you have them in your home. I mean, and they just have so many, like the partnership with Disney. I just love them. So getting off of that. So the candles presented problems for me that I just could not stop. It was I went down to 1 candle and I would burn it even shorter amount of time, and I was still dealing with the same problems. And then at the time too, one of my sons was having problems. He was getting sick. He was having a lot of problems breathing. And so during the time, I know that fragrance can sometimes be still an irritant for the airways, but I felt like the smoke was probably the big thing for candles. So I know there are a lot of options now for candles, like soy options and things like that for candles. So I've contemplated trying other types of candles, but I do like the fragrance part of like a paraffin wax. Like they have good scent throw. And I think I just haven't decided to try soy just because I was like, well, I have scentsy now, so I just won't even worry about it. I do still warm candles. So you see that I have a candle here. I do still light candles. I just don't do it very often. I usually do it only an hour. If I do, one candle at a time. And I mostly use them when the power is out. So for you know, like light in the house, that kind of thing. So it's just rare that I warm them now, because I also have noticed that the performance of some of the types of candles that I used to buy is not the same as it used to be, especially with Bath and Body Works. I've just, like, I used to love, there was a scent, why can't I remember what it's called? It had a Ferris wheel on the front. I think it was like a caramel popcorn type of scent. And it was so good when I first bought it years and years ago. And when I bought it again recently, as soon as I lit the candle and let it go for an hour, it smelled like it was burnt. And that's the smell it's giving off too. So just some of the reasons that I stopped burning candles was, you know, that burning smell that you get from the candle sometimes after you've warmed it once. It's like now it smells like the scent plus the burn smell. That dust that was building on my fans was just not cool to me. And the fire, almost like the soot marks in the house on my walls, was driving me crazy. And I clean my walls regularly. I'm a wipe down the wall, scrub the wall type of person. And that was driving me crazy, especially because it was higher on the ceiling where there shouldn't be any marks at all on the ceiling. Like it was ridiculous. So I switched to scentsy and I've not come back. I still do candles, like I said, occasionally, very rarely though. It's usually under an hour that I burn them, and I stick with scentsy wax bars. But I am looking to try some other wax bars. So if you all know of a vendor that is available in the United States or ships to the United States, please let me know so that I can try some other types of wax. I generally go with scentsy just because I am a consultant, so I get some of that money back. But I also just feel like, for the most part, from the wax bars that I've tried, you know, other brands, this is the strongest and longest lasting wax. And I love that scentsy, their warmers are not as hot, so I don't have to worry about like my cat or my kids like burning anything, touching the warmer. So I generally use those. And with scentsy warmers, their wax works the best with their warmers. You know, you don't want to always mix. Some harder waxes might not melt properly in a scentsy warmer, and I believe that it voids your warranty if you do that. But I do have one other type of warmer that's not a scentsy warmer, but I don't use it very often. And it's actually one of those that you can warm the candle wax. And so I do that generally more than burning them. You can warm the candle wax because it sits on a plate. And then it has a dish that you could sit and do wax melt. So if you needed to warm like a harder wax other than scentsy, you could do that. So I have that just in case. But those are the reasons why I stopped burning candles. And I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know. Let me know if you've had those kind of experiences also. Have you had similar experiences with like the soot and the dust? And like, it just seems like that can't be healthy for like your lungs. So I stopped doing it. I know that fragrance probably isn't the best either. There are things, I just feel like it'd be impossible to eliminate every single thing that is bad for you in my house. And fragrance is one of those things that really makes me happy. I love when my house smells good. So I'm just going to keep up with scentsy. But that is all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So please, in the comments, let me know if there are vendor wax that I should try. Also, let me know if you're having the same kind of problems with candles. Do you have any of those problems? Is that just a me thing? Maybe it was just the house. I don't know. I just wanted to hop on and present those things to you guys and see what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.